Like many things on the Blackstone that come super quick, this one, trust me, is going to be at the top of the quick recipe list. And this is dessert, y'all. All I'm doing is making a pre-bought, store-sliced pound cake with a homemade wild berry compote. I'm gonna show you how to do it in a matter of minutes. Let's go. So behind me here, I have a preheated saucepan, and all I'm doing is adding a little bit of butter to that. While we have the butter in, we added a little bit of sugar. I'm just essentially creating a paste out of that, melting it down nice and good. You can already see that nice and thick consistency. That's what you're gonna want as your base to this compote. Now it's time to start with the hack, the quick part of this recipe. We're skipping a step. We're using that jarred preserves or jams, whatever you have in your pantry. Now, why this is such a hack for this recipe is because normally when you're making a compote, you are adding fresh berries and you're cooking it down, you're boiling it for hours and hours. You don't need to do that with this. In fact, honestly, I think this is the better route to go. And just let that melt down. You want it to almost boil. So I went to the grocery store and I found this awesome thing of just a mixture of berries from blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. The only thing I needed to do was pre-slice some of these strawberries just a little bit more since they were a little big. But other than that, I just found this to be such a quick, easy hack. And actually, I found it a bit cheaper than individually buying all my fruits here. So I'm gonna add just a good handful in the saucepan. And like I said, you can use whatever fruits that you have in your refrigerator. Now that we've got about a cup of our fresh fruit in here, I really want those to get nice and soft. So with that, they definitely are gonna need a couple of minutes to cook, but after that, we'll be right back. So while that compote is just about done, we're gonna add a little bit of butter to our griddle behind me here. And I've got my griddle here on low again, very important. The thing about the pound cakes is they will burn, so you almost gotta babysit them. Now, let's talk about the pound cake. This is my other part of the hack here. You could do this if you have leftover cake as well, but for me, I just went ahead and this is what I found at my store. It is vanilla flavored sliced loaf cake, basically a pound cake, but this one had vanilla icing. You don't have to have icing, but this is just what they had. So I'm going to add this down here behind me. Like I said, these will toast super, super quick, so you wanna keep an eye on them. And the great thing about this recipe, y'all, is that this really puts on a show. It is really exquisite, and I get compliments all the time, and they have no idea how quick it was to make. Now it's time to take that compote off. You really want it just to sit for about 5 minutes so that it's not too watery. You have some type of thickness to it, but oh, you gotta look at this. It looks absolutely stunning already. While this is cooling, let's go ahead and flip our pound cake slices here, nice and toasty. So if you look here, you can actually see some of the sugar starting to melt down from the frosting, which honestly, in my opinion, I think it's gonna make it taste that much more sweeter, that much more better. Couple more minutes. While that's getting toasted on all sides, let's go back to the compote and talk about it. I want you to see this consistency, how it is here. So as you can see, it is still a little bit watery, but that's kind of how you want it. You don't want it super watery, you don't want it really thick. If you do want it thicker, you can simply just add a little bit of cornstarch or even arrowroot powder if you want that consistency. Now it's time to plate. We're gonna bring our pound cakes over here and we're just going to basically stack them. And it really just adds such a beautiful presentation. Trust me, all of your friends are gonna be like, how did you make this in a matter of minutes? Now it's time for the compote. It's had a minute to sit and y'all, it is smelling so good. I'm just gonna ladle a little bit over the top here. How beautiful is that? Now, the best part is the whipped cream on top. So you're getting the sweetness, you're getting the crispiness of that pound cake, and then you're getting the coolness of the Cool Whip or whipped cream, whichever is your favorite. You could also use powdered sugar as well. I'm gonna do a dollop here, and a dollop here. And just because we're gonna add a little bit of fresh fruit on top. And there she is. Oh, it looks so good. All right, we've got to taste this baby. It already looks amazing. We're in Florida, so it's nice and hot. I've got a little creamy meltiness of my whipped cream, but I am going to dig in here. Gonna get this good corner piece. Gotta have some of that fresh fruit. Here we go. Y'all, absolutely phenomenal. This tastes like this is straight homemade for hours. It took me, but they won't know. Don't tell them, but they won't know that I've got store-bought pre-sliced pound cake and my compote was made in a jiff. I love this. Impress your guests. You're gonna love this, trust me. Of course, you can do breakfast, lunch, and dinner on the Blackstone, but the fact that you can do dessert is pretty cool in a matter of minutes. Just remember, you're gonna always wanna keep it quick, keep it simple, and you gotta keep it delicious. My name is Taylor Mock, and I will see you on the next episode. Go back in for more.